All right, so this is the first of a series of lectures that are going to go over the details that you need to write your final paper. So this section will be on the methods section. So if you remember, in the first half of the class, we selected a series of images to show people and ask about the attributions of various traits. So I've got the images for the more attractive and less attractive females and the more attractive and less attractive males. Remember that the way we got these images is you all submitted pictures, and then the entire class voted, the entire class rated the attractiveness of these pictures, and then we selected the most attractive, or the male with the highest ratings and lowest ratings, to be the two pictures that we used for the males, and the same for the females. The ones with the highest and lowest ratings were the one we selected to get photos that were generally kind of accepted to be either attractive or unattractive. And so we showed our participants all 4 of these pictures and asked them a series of questions. How well do you think the following traits describe this person? Now, when we first designed this study, each group was doing their own construct. We decided, for the sake of simplicity this semester, that we are all going to write the rest of our paper about the same construct. The one I selected is happiness. So from the method on, everyone's papers will be about happiness. So the 3 traits that were used to determine happiness were joyous, glad, and cheerful. So participants were shown one picture. They were asked to respond on a scale of 1 being very poorly to 5 being very well. How well do you think the following traits describe this person? So how well does joyous describe this person? How well does glad? And how well does cheerful describe this person? And so this is a screenshot of what it actually looks like from the participant's view, just so you can kind of see for yourself. Okay, so in terms of translating this into an actual paper, the first thing I did was give you some information. I did some analyses. I won't show you those for the method section, but get some information about our participants. Now, this all needs to be written up. I have it in bullet point here. You need to put it in essay format, like the papers that you've read, like the APA examples on Moodle. So make sure you do that. In the methods section, you should have subheadings for participants, design, measures, and procedure. If you're not sure how to format the subheadings according to APA, in the APA PowerPoint that's on Moodle, on, I believe it's slide 15, there's details of how to format each of these subheadings. So the level 1, or the broadest heading, will be for the title of your paper, will be the heading for your introduction. You'll also have a level 1 heading for method and results and discussion. And then the participants and design and measures and procedures will all be level 2 headings. Okay, so in terms of the people who participated in our study, we ended up with a total of 125 participants. 31 were male, that was about 25%, and 94 were female, which was about 75%. The age range was from 18 to 65, and the average age was 33.7 with a standard deviation of 15. So you'll need to put that all in paragraph format so that the readers of your paper will be able to understand kind of what our participants looked like. You also need to describe how participants were selected. So remember that we used what's called a convenient sample if you need to go back to the survey chapter to refresh your memory. But generally, a convenient sample is people who are easily accessible. In this case, you all asked your friends and family and posted links on social media to get people to participate in our survey. So we need to describe that that's the way we got them. Okay, so the next heading will be design. So you need to think about what type of experimental design was used. Remember that we had 2 independent variables. So we manipulated the attractiveness of the picture, and we also manipulated the gender. And so you need to describe those 2 independent variables, state what the levels of each was, and you also need to state whether each of those independent variables were independent groups. So did we have different people rating attractive versus unattractive pictures, or was it repeated measures where we had the same people rating attractive and unattractive pictures? So because we had two independent variables, it is a complex design, and you'll need to explicitly state that. You also need to state what the dependent variable was. Now, for the purposes of this paper, everyone is analyzing happiness as the dependent variable. Okay, so the next section is measures. So you have to describe how your construct was operationally defined, so how happiness was operationally defined. So mention who reported the information. Basically, it was self-report or self-ratings. How many questions? So they rated 3 different items. And give 1 or 2 examples. Don't give like a bullet point list of the 3 questions that people rated, but give 1 or 2 examples. And then what scale were the responses on? So that scale from 1 to 5 that I gave you earlier in the video, that's what I want you to describe here. You should also include how the photographs were selected. So make sure you explain how did we come to the conclusion that a photo was attractive or unattractive. And then the final section of the method section is the procedures. And so basically what you should describe in the procedure, this should be relatively straightforward. What did the participants do from the time they were recruited through the end of the experiment? So just kind of a step-by-step of what participants did, and that's it. So again, you need to be able to answer these questions in essay format. It shouldn't be in bullet point format, but the method section should really be pretty straightforward. It's all already been done. You just need to describe it.